Machen wir Higurashi. Bitte. Jetzt heute schön im 16:9 Format mit schönerer Grafik. Und ja. So, Takano-san seemed a little unhappy that Tomitake-san had rained on her parade, but she stopped talking about it then. Ach, die waren, ah ja, also beim letzten Mal ist hier der King of Five Nights at Freddy's angeblicher Markiplier. Keine Ahnung. Ich muss dazu sagen, Markiplier hat dann trotzdem insgesamt mehr geschafft als ich. Weil ich habe bisher nie irgendwelche 20 Modi oder sonst was geschafft. Ich bin einfach nur in Sister Location ganz gut. Mehr auch nicht. Ähm, also letztes Mal hat Keiichi ein bisschen verschlafen, hat dann nicht so richtig Bock gehabt auf Schule, ist dann erstmal ein bisschen rumgelaufen, hat einen größeren Umweg genommen zur Schule. Dann ist er auf Tomitake gestoßen, der hat ihn dann gebeten, ihm den Weg zum Schrein zu zeigen, da der Weg dahin ein bisschen kompliziert war, hat Keiichi Tomitake dahin geführt. Und dann hat Keiichi sich ein bisschen mit Takano, also der Krankenschwester und dem Tomitake-Fotografen, ein bisschen unterhalten. Und jetzt ist Keiichi wieder auf dem Weg zur Schule. Oder im Endeffekt dem Bild nachzuurteilen. Im Endeffekt schon bei der Schule. So. So Takano seemed a little unhappy that Tomitake-san had rained on her parade, but she stopped talking about it then. Even though it was still a very interesting story. That Oyashiro-sama's curse, which we thought of as strange freak deaths, were really homicides, perpetrated by people of the village. Well, I mean, if you thought about it logically, it would have to be. People wouldn't be dying because of a curse. Someone's obviously killing people and making it look like one. Indeed. As for who that is, hihi, it might be safer not to try and find out. You seem like you know Takano-san. You may not have proof, but you seem like you believe it. Oh my, why do you think that? I just kind of felt it vaguely. It didn't seem like her extreme passion for this research could be explained just by these things being taboo or being safe and easy. This person loved walking through the profound, forbidden abyss of risks and taboos. Let's leave it at that, my Barakun. I just helped you escape, and now you're trying to talk about Oyashiro-sama again? Wanted to take a nice walk while it was still cool. Tomitake-san seemed a little disappointed not to be able to go on the date he'd planned since I had brought up a weird topic. But right now, there was something I wanted to ask just for a little bit. And that was about whether Satoko's uncle will be chosen for the curse this year. Also anscheinend sind wir doch noch nicht bei der Schule. If he was, then alten Stil sah besser aus. Ja, das ist schon. Da stimme ich dir zu. Da haben sie anscheinend dann die, nicht nur die Hintergründe geändert, sondern auch die Sprites auf die PlayStation 3 Version. Naja. If he was, then another miracle would happen, just like last year. A terrible incident would happen again, but it would release Satoko from her unfortunate circumstances once more. Bin ja mal gespannt, wenn ich jetzt auf Original umstelle. Okay, dann ja. Nee. Okay. Also ich glaube, bei dem anderen Zeug hat es das nicht geändert. Beim ersten Kapitel zumindest. Vielleicht kann ich mal schauen, dass ich dann zumindest die anderen Sprites, zumindest von den Charakteren, wieder rein kopiere. Ist ja im Endeffekt nur reinkopieren und austauschen und mehr nicht. Mal schauen. Vielleicht funktioniert es. Wenn nicht, dann tausche ich sie wieder aus. Müssen wir uns mit denen erstmal zufrieden geben. Well, I do have a few suspicions as to the kind of people who would probably become involved, of course. It's a natural, inevitable conclusion for anyone who has researched the history of Onigafuchi village. Who do you mean? What would I do if I knew? I asked that question to the other me deep inside, but got no reply. How enthusiastic. What would you do if you knew? Nothing really. If you found out, you might get into danger yourself, you know. Maybe the 5th year's curse would be you. Mir kommt es langsam so vor, als ob das irgendwie ein bisschen zurückgesprungen ist im Skript. Weil das ist im Endeffekt genau das gleiche, was letztes Mal vor der Halbzeit sozusagen war. Hallo Rizos. Aber die Sprites ändern im Endeffekt, also ich glaube ja. Ich muss probieren, eventuell sind sie mit dem 16:9 Zeug nicht richtig kompatibel. Dass die vielleicht nicht anständig angezeigt werden oder so, oder halt irgendwie komplett verschoben sind. Muss ich mal gucken. Versuche ich mal bis zum nächsten Mal. Wenn's klappt, dann lasse ich die anständigen Sprites drin. Wenn nicht, dann muss ich halt wieder die benutzen. Hallo Crazy. Takano-san, toying with taboo, gave a devilish, satisfied smile, as though nothing in the world would be more amusing. She was probably trying to tease me, but I didn't feel like going along with her little game one bit. You like to talk pretty big, but you don't really know yourself, do you, Takano-san? I had felt a tinge of irritation at Takano-san's roundabout way of speaking. But those emotions escaped my mouth, like water flowing through a strainer. Even I was surprised at how directly I had spoken about what I felt. Of course, I wasn't the only one taken aback. Oh my, you're something. You may be just a boy, but you can still provoke people. How unexpectedly rugged. I don't dislike people like that, you know. Takano-san's tongue poked out of her mouth, and I was convinced that it was long, thin, and split in the middle like a snake's. Ja, das ist das gleiche Zeug. Moment. Ich spring. Ja, die verrät's mir, bla bla bla, please tell me. Und da ist jetzt dann, ja, das ist ein bisschen nach hinten gesprungen. Warum auch immer. Aber okay. So, und jetzt müssten wir bei der Schule sein. Ja, auf dem Weg zur Schule. Okay. Gut, jetzt passt es wieder. Bisschen komisch, aber naja. Witzig wahrscheinlich. So, jetzt geht's richtig. Also, Takano hat anscheinend Keiichi verraten, wer ihrer Meinung nach diese ganzen Morde durchgeführt hat. Aber wir wissen es immer noch nicht. Mal schauen, ob Keiichi das irgendwie mal auch denkt oder so. Damit wir wissen, was Takano-san denn genau gesagt hat. So. Many of my classmates were playing freely in the schoolyard. A few of them had just run out of the school building after putting on their shoes and tapping their toes to the ground. It looked like they had just finished eating lunch. From a time manipulating standpoint, I guess I succeeded. Oh, my Bada-san, are you okay? A few girls noticed me and came running over. It was only natural they were worried. You'd think if someone wasn't there in the morning, they'd be out the rest of the day. Well, I'm just late for school. Don't worry about it. Anyway, what about Satoko? Did she come today? The girls exchanged glances. I saw a thin shadow fall over their faces and knew the answer without needing to hear them reply. Satoko was absent today too. When all was said and done, after being out 3 days, she'd only come back for 1. And now she was out again. Who knew if she would come tomorrow? Yeah, but the teacher said she got a phone call from Satoko-chan. She said she had a cold. Chia-sensei said everyone should make sure to rinse their mouths and rinse their mouths out really well. Wait a minute, Chia-sensei. That's a little too thick-headed, don't you think? You're a teacher, aren't you? Why can't you be more sensitive and catch on to the fact that your pupil is sending out an SOS? But even if she did, there was nothing we could hope for. The most she could do was a home visitation. She didn't have any right to take Satoko from her uncle into safety. So no matter the result, it would end up just like the public agencies, with a wait-and-see attitude. It would just piss Satoko's uncle off, and her suffering would only grow deeper. Then wasn't saying she had a cold the best option. She's right. Be careful not to catch a cold. Got it? You can go now. There's still plenty of time left in lunch break. The girls excitedly scattered into the schoolyard. Okay, Chikun! Reina was yelling out the classroom window, waving her hand. A moment later, Mion and Rika-chan poked their heads out too. We were very worried that even you would be absent today. Thank goodness. You don't seem sick, you look pretty okay. I felt a little uncomfortable with her saying that I didn't look sick, but I didn't care that much. What happened? Overslept? Well, late is late. Think if I said I was late because of a train accident, she'd let it slide? You overslept? Mion was being a bit persistent. Was she going to put on her club president cap and scold me for being late? Well, maybe she didn't have it in for me, so I briefly stated that she was right. There's still more bento. Everyone eat up. Without Keiichi-kun here, we couldn't have any fun. Satoko is still absent, huh? Even Reina, feigning cheerfulness, couldn't stand to hear that, and her face darkened. She called this morning. Apparently, she said her cold came back and she was staying home again. She said it might go on for a while too. She must be sad, so we were all talking about going to visit. What are you saying, Rika-chan? Not pleased with Rika-chan wearing a wide smile as though it was a happy occasion, I threw cold water on her. We know best of all she doesn't have a cold, don't we? Don't ever tell a fib like that again, even as a joke. I'll get mad next time. Rika-chan furrowed her brow, looked down, and mumbled an apology. It's not just you, Keiichi-kun. It's hard for everyone. I know I'm not the only one worrying, but none of us can do anything either, can we? That's true, but I got the feeling I would cause another fight if this exchange went on. So I apologized first. Sorry. I'm sorry so forget about what I just said. It's hard for everyone, right? It must be. It was at least clear, however, that I was the only one who had worried so much about rescuing her. At the very least, everyone else probably got the normal amount of sleep last night. Probably had good dreams too. They definitely hadn't stayed up all night thinking so desperately. I know it might not be what you want to hear right after you get to school, but you were late today, Kei-chan. Did it have anything to do with Satoko being absent? Huh? Mion, what are you talking about? Sometimes you act kind of foolhardy, Kei-chan. When both you and her were absent this morning, we seriously thought you might have kidnapped her and hidden her somewhere. Easy for you to say. If I could have, I'd have done that last night. None of them had really thought about how difficult that clear-as-day solution was. I was up thinking all night, thinking until the night was brightening, and then I concluded that I couldn't do anything of the sort. Don't be dumb. I couldn't hide someone. You're right. I'm sorry. I apologize if I upset you. Don't worry about it. Anyway, let's eat some food. I'm starving. I took my bento box out of my bag. Everyone moved to make a spot for me to sit. My Barakun, did you just get here? And just as I was about to stick my chopsticks in, Chie-sensei came along. Yeah, sorry for being late. I overslept. What the heck? Even the teacher was giving me that strange look. When you finished eating, could you and the president come to the teacher's lounge? There's something I want to talk about. Probably about Satoko, I thought. Sensei left it at that and went back out into the hallway. Eating lunch can wait. Let's go, Mion. You're right. Mion and I exchanged looks, nodded to each other and got up. It's probably about Satoko-chan. No doubt about it. They were saying she had a cold, but everyone in class knew the truth. I didn't think that wouldn't have reached the teacher's ears by now. I kept playing dumb, so I think she gave up asking me. Revealing the truth to the teacher would only worsen the situation. Was that why she hadn't said anything? Or was it because she was Satoko's friend and knew that she was trying to endure the trial of her uncle's abuse in order to get her brother to come home? What should we do? Maybe we should use this chance to get a collective opinion. What do you want to do, Rika-chan? Meep. Satoko's closest and best friend was Rika-chan. However much I pretended to be her Nini, it didn't come close to the amount of time they'd spent together. So I felt like her opinion should be held in the highest regard. I know why Satoko is enduring her uncle's torture. Everyone looked startled and turned to me. Back then, whenever Satoko was abused, she probably cried and hid behind her brother. But Satoko thinks that, in the end, that's why her brother ran away. Who did you hear that from? The coach, I bet. I nodded quietly. Satoko believes her brother will come back if she can withstand the abuse. Maybe that's why she's trying to push through. But that assumption has nothing to do with Satoshi coming back. It hurts to say that about Satoko, but it's the truth. Everyone hung their heads. Everyone was thinking the same thing. Satoko probably won't be happy no matter who helps her. She wants to withstand everything with her own strength. But is it really right to respect that? I don't think it is. Even if Satoko hates us for a while, I think there will come a time when we need to save her against her will. And I think that time might be now. I told them about what I saw and how I felt when I went to Satoko's house yesterday. Keiichi-kun, so you think we should tell someone? Of course, only after we're sure that reporting it to a public agency will guarantee her safety. Without being sure of that, it could just get more dangerous for her instead. It's a difficult problem. You think we can get a definite promise out of the teacher? I had no confidence, but we had to try. Meanwhile, Rika-chan had her hand raised for a while, as if asking for an opportunity to speak. I will leave it to Keiichi. But is that okay with Rika-chan? Keiichi is thinking about Satoko more than anybody else here. If Keiichi thinks that we need to tell someone, then I have no complaints. Thanks. Mion, Rena, are you okay with that? Mion seemed to hesitate, not knowing if she should agree. But when she saw Rena's firm nod, she made up her mind and did the same. Okay, let's go, Mion. Right. Right. Only Chie-sensei was in the teacher's lounge. Natürlich mit dem Curry auf dem Tisch. Sehr schön. We didn't see the principal anywhere. The schedule on the blackboard under the principal's name said training going straight home. Our principal's sense of justice was too strong. Satoko's problems wouldn't be solved with something so vague. Maybe it was a stroke of good luck that he wasn't here. When the teacher saw Mion and I come in, she closed up her curry bento, saving the rest for later. Sit over there, please. She told us to take a seat in the chairs, directly in front of the principal's seat. I hadn't sat in this chair since doing the paperwork for transferring in. The two of us sat there uncomfortably before the teacher walked over carrying a notebook and a ballpoint pen and sat in front of us. My Baru-kun, you were absent this morning. Did something happen? I'm sorry, I overslept. Really? I have no reason to lie. She narrowed her eyes at me in suspicion. Now I was sure of it. She wanted to talk about Satoko. In any case, I think you two already know, but your friend Hojo-san has been away frequently lately. Hello, Queenie. Neither Mion nor I had anything to say in response, but the teacher proceeded, not minding. Would you happen to know anything? There are some people in class spreading bad rumors. Mion looked down and remained silent, as though she were being lectured. She sent me a quick glance. Everyone had made up their minds. They'd be leaving things to me. Mion-kun, or you, my Baru-kun. I won't get mad or anything, okay? If you know something, I just want you to tell me. Sensei, can we ask you a question first? She must not have anticipated that response. She looked surprised. I don't know what rumors are going around about Satoko in class. But if those rumors happen to be true, what would you do, Sensei? Well, what would I do? If it's true that she's being abused by her uncle, then I can't leave it alone. Can't leave what alone, exactly? What would you do? Sensei's eyebrows shot up. Maybe I said it like I was trying to pick a fight. My Baru-kun, I'm being serious here. So am I. I'm also being completely serious right now. Please answer me. If it were true, what wouldn't you leave alone? Sensei took a few breaths, then began to speak slowly. First, I'd have to visit Hojo-san's house to confirm the situation. Her uncle might get mad and drive you away, though. Well, okay. Let's say you did meet with Satoko and her uncle. Then what? Then I'd ask whether it was true. Once I got the facts, I'd go from there. Please stop talking so vaguely. What exactly would you do? Even despite my tone being so provocative, Chie-sensei bit back her emotions and listened calmly. I thought then that she was a good teacher. Chie-sensei really did have her students' best interests at heart. But she didn't have the power or the authority to save Satoko. If she let her sense of justice run away with her, the situation could get more complex. Sensei folded her arms, and for a few moments she closed her eyes as though mentally concentrating. And when they opened again, there was a strictness in her eyes I'd never seen before. There's a law called the Child Welfare Law. It clearly states that abuse against children will not be allowed, no matter who it is. So it would seem. Then what? I'd contact the prefecture's child consultation center. You said just now that I would be turned away, didn't you? Child welfare officers can bring the police with them if the situation demands. They will not submit to intimidation. How many days would it take after you contact the social worker and submit the paperwork for her to be saved? It would be the same day. Their job is to guarantee the immediate safety of children. I know that. That's if they decide there's an urgent need. If they didn't, then they'd do the same as you. They'd go from there. They'd just wait and see, right? They'd just watch. It would make Satoko's uncle's mood sour, and Satoko would be stuck with him there. Keicha, that's going a little too far. I'm not lying, am I? Last year or the year before, whatever, that's exactly what happened when the child welfare people came, isn't it? And what happened then? You and Sensei would know about it a lot better than I would. I'd said too much. I didn't need Mion to tell me that. I was talking crazy and itching for a fight. I was supposed to be telling her about the situation only after I was sure we could save Satoko, but I basically told her everything right from the start. Sensei looked at the clock, stood up, and picked up the phone at the principal's seat. Hello? Put me through the extension 3455, please. Is this okay, Kei-chan? Is this really okay? It was too late. The dice had been cast. Now we could only pray. Oh, thank you for answering my call. I'm Jie, a licensed teacher at the Hinamizawa branch school. Would Director Watanabe happen to be in the guidance office? Yes, that's right. Something urgent came up, so I'd like to contact the principal as soon as I can. Yes, thank you. Please tell him immediately. Yes, thank you. The teacher put down the phone and tilted her head back and took a breath, like I always did. I'll ask the two of you again. Are the rumors going around class really true? Yes. Yesterday I went to Satoko's house and I saw for myself just how bad it really is. You can leave the rest to me. I'll definitely do something for Satoko-chan. Something. Please stop saying such ambiguous things. Not something, we have to save her. If they end up deciding to wait and see again, how do you plan on taking responsibility? While I was yelling, the phone rang. Sensei snatched the receiver up first. Hello? Oh, I apologize for interrupting your training. Yes, actually it's about the issue with Satoko Hojo-san. Yes. Sensei waved us away, telling us we could leave now. Mion went to leave, but I held my ground. I had a responsibility to make sure she stopped saying such vague, ambiguous things. If it didn't look like she was going to say anything substantial, then I'd tell them the truth, even if I had to steal the phone from her. Yes. No, I haven't contacted them yet. Yes. I haven't confirmed it, but it seems pretty bad from what the children are saying. It's not just pretty bad. Do something about it, right now. If you're going to report it, then I don't care who you tell. But I swear if they end up just waiting and watching, I will never forgive you. I yelled angrily at Sensei and the principal on the other end. I wanted to somehow, some way, convey to them just how dangerous her situation was right now. I understand that. I will tell them as much. Mion-kun, please take my Barakun back to the classroom. Yes, ma'am. Let's go, Kei-chan. We should leave this to the teachers now. You better. Promise. Until the very last moment I glared at Sensei. Chie-sensei was being pressured by the likes of me. Idiot, this isn't the time to feel pressured. Now's the time when you give me a firm nod that'll set my mind at ease. Even so, we've already left things in her hands. At this point, we really can't do anything but pray. Bang. Mian shut the door to the teacher's lounge. Das war's für heute. Gar nicht mal so lange. Aber ja, sehr, sehr schön. Neue Tipps, Articles, Statistics from the Ministry of irgendwas. Save. Kapitel 7 fertig. 5 Kapitel bleiben noch. Glaube ich zumindest. Ich nehme an. Es sind wieder 12 Kapitel. Haben wir schon ein bisschen was. Das ist supi.